All right, guys. So I want to talk about men blaming other men for hypergamy or being hurt by women, right? Men blaming men for female hypergamy, basically. So I'm having this conversation in a WhatsApp group, and I posted this video, which I did my last video one, which is this guy crying about being hurt by a girl who chose a better guy than him. Now, yes, he's showing emotion, and yes, he's vulnerable, and he's being insecure, technically, like quote unquote insecure, but he's genuinely hurt, clearly. Now, watch what happens when I post this. This guy says, showing that emotional incontinence on video, that's always a sign, implying like it's a sign of a weak guy, right? So I say he's insecure and vulnerable, but she left him for someone better. That shit's cold. And this guy, who's always fucking talking shit, he says, made you rethink back to your first time, huh? It's not cold, it's nature. And I said, nature is cold. I've had my fair share of hypergamy heartbreak, to be honest. Not ashamed to admit it. This guy comes in and says, nature is neither hot nor cold, it's nature. Right? Which is like removing, when you say things like that, you remove accountability. You remove like the expectation that people should be kind to each other. You remove the expectation that love should be loyal and warm and loving, and you remove that commitment aspect, right? When you love someone, like, you should commit to them, and you should do everything in your power to make the relationship work. Now, granted, sometimes people change, sometimes relationships don't work out, sometimes they're doomed from the start. That's natural, like, that's normal. Like, okay, this relationship isn't working out, blah blah, but there's a difference between that and upgrading to somebody better. It's like if I was, dating a girl, and I was like, man, I'm just dating her because, like, she's cool for now, but I want somebody better. Like, that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of cruel. So I couldn't say, like, hey, I love you. I couldn't say, I want to be with you forever. If I said those things, I'd be lying, because in my heart, I would be planning on finding somebody else. Oh, this girl's got nicer tits. This girl's hotter. I'll upgrade to this girl. Or this girl's younger. I'll upgrade to that younger girl. It's like these feminists who get mad when guys divorce their wife who turns 40 and she loses her looks, and they go out and date 20-year-olds. It's the same concept. That's just a flip. Like, okay, if you're mad that men do that, then why aren't you mad when women dump a guy and go for a guy who has a better job? You see the hypocrisy there? So that's what these women do. They tell their friends, oh, go find a guy with a better job. Oh, this guy's a loser. Get a better guy. Your boyfriend, he should be better. And this is what girls tell each other. They tell each other shit like this. Oh, you can do better than him, girl. He's a bum. He's, he doesn't make that much money, or woo woo, right? Talking in her ear, convincing her to break up with the guy. And then what happens? Then they break up and go find somebody better, and then they want to claim that that's love. No, that's not love. That's you upgrading. That's like if I drove a Toyota and I was like, this is my loyal Toyota. I love my Toyota. And then you see a great Mercedes and you're like, well, I guess I don't love that Toyota that much. Let me go buy this Mercedes, right? That's what it's like. It's like you didn't really love that Toyota. Like, you appreciated it. And it's like, maybe that's not the best example, but that's what women are doing. They're attributing these shallow aspects to relationships. Like, oh, a man is just a thing to be dated, and then I upgrade that from that thing to a better thing. And that's what these guys are saying here. So I said it's definitely cold to anyone who has a heart, as in nature can be cold. Yeah, nature can be very cold. Like animals kill each other. That's cold. But I don't think that's the way it should be. Like, if you want to get biblical about it, that happened after, Satan came to the earth and corrupted everything. And you can find Bible verses that talk about that. But I don't think that's the way it should be. It's just they don't have a heart, and they look at nature and they go, oh, everything's cruel. So as humans, because we're animals too, we should be cruel. Like, no, we have morality. We have higher character, higher standards. We can hold ourselves to higher standards than that bullshit, than just hurting somebody or not caring. Blah 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 blah. So this guy says the girl who cheated on you for Chad represented nature's survival, and you failed as a man in your responsibility to provide for her and protect that survival. Subsequently, why you got cucked. So this is what a lot of people out there think. They think that as a man, you should provide for her and protect her And if you're not good enough and she leaves you, it's your fault, right? It's your fault if if she leaves you. And that's why there's, it's kind of funny because that's why there's all these memes out there like, if your man cheated on you, ask yourself what you did to not please him, or like it's that kind of lunacy. Like, okay, so then don't call it love. Like that's not what it is. So these guys are shaming me for not liking hypergamy, basically. And this is a typical conversation. If you talk to people online or you talk to people wherever, this is a typical kind of conversation. This is what people really believe. They believe that, you know, they're playing into hypergamy is exactly what they're doing. And a lot of red pill guys do it too. Rollo Tomasi, what's that guy's name? Entrepreneur in Cars, Richard Cooper. These guys are, you know, even Pua guys, you know, the 33 Secrets somewhat, although I like a lot of his content. Donovan Sharp, although I like a lot of his content. But a lot of Pua guys, like Pua slash red pill guys, they're out there talking about, oh, step up your game, improve your hypergamy skills, woo woo. It's like, bro, why would I want to be with a girl if she's gonna leave me if I don't have a good job, or she's gonna leave me if I don't provide for her, or she's gonna leave me if I'm not as good as, you know, her coworker or the guy she's been talking to down the street or whatever. Like, that's fucked up. That's not loyal at all. Like, I gotta constantly be looking behind my back to see if she's cheating on me, or to see if she's finding somebody better. It's like, okay, if you believe that's all it is, then I guess there's no reason to have any boundaries in the relationship. She can cheat on you, you can cheat on her, because there's no moral standard. There's no you know, there's no ethical underlying standard there. You know, she can just leave you if she finds somebody better. I mean, imagine that. Like, that's just like me shopping for cologne or something. Like, oh yeah, I like this cologne, but this is a better cologne. Let me wear this cologne over there. It's like, dude, it doesn't matter. When you love someone, you are loyal to that person. When you love someone, you're not gonna do that to them. You're not gonna sell them out for somebody else. So don't call it love. That's my point. And this guy says nature isn't that savage. Today's world is pretty much gynocentric, and women's hypergamy is in a bubble to their favor, the top tier guys. And yeah, I agree with that. But most guys will die not accepting this. So he's agreeing that there's no point in bitching over women being hypergamous. Just accept it and play into it. Be the best she can get. And all these guys are single. All these guys are just, none of them they're all assholes. Like you know, none of them are really in a relationship. None of them have, you know, really bring anything to the table as far as like they don't have any inner qualities or inner character. All they know how to be is bad boys. All they know how to be is jerks to women. And it gets them laid. You know what I mean? But so, by the way, this is a Pua group. If you didn't know, if I didn't say it, I don't think I did. So then I say, okay, like, if that's what they want, top tier guy, then that's what they'll chase. But they shouldn't say they love the guy, because if he stopped being a top tier guy, they'd leave him. And a large part of love is loyalty. Hypergamy has nothing to do with love, and that's facts, because hypergamy is not loyalty, right? If you're hypergamous, you're not loyal, but by definition. And then I replied to that one guy, and I said, this is blaming men for women's unloyalty, which is kind of fucked up, like radical man-hating feminist type shit. And then this guy calls me a beta. I say, wanting love in a love relationship is beta? Okay, bud. So that's what it is, man. These people, I mean, like, there's people out there who just want to, you can have these conversations with people. You can go out there and you can have conversations with these, you know, with random people, and they'll say this type of shit. Oh, you need to provide for her, and if you're not doing that, then you're a loser, and she'll leave you. And it's just like, what's the point of a relationship then? You know, relationships should be based on love, loyalty, communication, shared experiences, you know, and plans for the future. And it's just like, if you can't do any of that, and your plans for the future are only getting a guy who's got more, you know, the most money that you can get, the best bang for your buck, if you're just exchanging you know, your sexuality and your sexiness, your looks for resources, and then you're going to hit the wall when you're 30 or 40, you know, what's left after that? What if he loses his job? You know, it's like, there's nothing intrinsically, you know, beneficial to any of that. There's nothing intrinsically important in that type of relationship or that type of seeking.